published 9:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 13th of May 2018, updated 9:55 Eastern Daylight Saving Time, the 13th of May 2018. It has been that kind of season. All the drama, unpredictability, controversy, storylines and general craziness of Scottish football were condensed into one campaign-closing act of glorious chaos at Easter Road. That it was ultimately irrelevant in terms of league positions didn't dilute this utterly compelling spectacle on iota. Aberdeen's victory at Celtic Park meant Rangers couldn't have claimed second place even after staging a remarkable recovery to lead 5-3. As it was, ending with an equal share of 10 goals seemed strangely fitting conclusion. What an incredible finale this was! Rangers were 3-0 down with less than a quarter of the game played as a Florian Camberry penalty was added to by goals from Scott Allan and Jamie Maclaren. Jamie Maclaren scored the dramatic hat-trick to ensure Hibernian salvage a point against Rangers in a 10-goal thriller in Leith. Substitute Brandon Barker fizzed down the left before cutting back for Maclaren to side-foot home to rescue a point on the day. Hibs boss Neil Lennon had showcased a wealth of emotions but was flying high in the final seconds despite being sent off. Events at Easter Road will be remembered as a thriller as Rangers now begin preparations for the Steven Gerrard era that staged. Neil Lennon's men were harboring hope of overturning a 6-goal deficit to snatch third spot from the visitors. What no one would have predicted was parity at half-time. But back came Rangers. James Tavernier, comeback man Jordan Rossiter and Bruno Alves levelled up before Jason Holt and Josh Windass gave what appeared an unassailable advantage with 21 minutes to go. We should have known better. Maclaren reduced the deficit before completing his hat-trick in injury time, bringing Lennon onto the pitch in celebration. Between those goals, Holt was ordered off for Rangers after collecting a second yellow card. And Sir Steven Gerrard make his competitive debut as Ibrox manager with Europa League football on July 12. Footage of this mind-bending 90 minutes will only have underlined the urgent need for defensive reinforcement. Hibs finish fourth and will join Rangers in Europe if Celtic defeat Motherwell in the Scottish Cup final a week on Saturday. For now, the focus will remain on Lennon's future given his comments in the aftermath of that midweek derby defeat to Hearts. He had moved to try and assuage the fears of the Easter Road support in a pre-match interview with BT Sport, denying any split with the club hierarchy and stressing that his commitment should not be questioned. A board meeting this week will hold the key to the way ahead. Rangers thought they had produced a sensational comeback as the score read 5-4 with minutes left on the scoreboard. James Tavernier had got Rangers back into the contest before. Substitute Josh Windass fortuitously netted Rangers' fifth goal. A kamikaze game swung back in the favour of host Hibs when Jason Holt was shown a second yellow and was sent off. Certainly, the initial response of Lennon's players was rousingly positive. Between expiring contracts, the end of loans and transfer interest, there is doubt over the futures of as many as 6 of the starting lineup he selected here. Yet there was no sign of wandering focus as Hibs ripped into Rangers in an extraordinary opening to an utterly breathless, mind-bending first half of switching momentum. They were 3-0 ahead after 21 minutes. With the Rangers defence putting together something akin to a greatest hits collection from a season not short on errors, the home side's wonderful attacking vibrancy gained rapid reward. The first incision came thanks to a helping hand from David Bates after 11 minutes. On his final Rangers appearance before joining Hamburg this summer, the centre-back barged into Maclaren as the striker sought to move onto a Vikinta Slivka cross. Referee Andrew Dallas spotted the infringement and Canberra whipped a perfect penalty high into the net. "We want 6" was the celebratory chant. That was the margin needed to turn around a goal difference deficit and nick third place. It may have started as a joke, but it began to look plausible. Florian Canberra set Hibernian on the way with a stunningly struck penalty into the top corner. After just 10 minutes of action, the Edinburgh side knew they needed to beat Rangers by 6 clear goals to overtake them and ensure a Europa League spot, and the hopes of a rout were boosted soon after Canberra's opener when youngster Scott Allan made it 2-0 from close range. He burst free from Rangers defenders to fire home inside the 6-yard box on 19 minutes. As away fans were left shell-shocked, the lead was doubled on 19 minutes. Louis Stevenson fired over a deep cross from the left flank that was headed down by Slivka at the far post. Allan got in front of Sean Goss to force the ball over the line and trigger another wave of noise. It got louder 2 minutes later. Another Stevenson delivery caused menace, with the Rangers centre-backs nowhere near Maclaren. The Australian, harboring World Cup ambitions this summer, made the most of the space by directing a superb downward header inside Jack Anick's right-hand post. Easter Road was in a ferment. So, too, were the Hibernian players, but that excitement only led to clouded judgment. In the hunger for further goals, they abandoned the defensive responsibilities. A ridiculously open first half pivoted when Tavernier pulled a goal back for Rangers after 24 minutes. It was worked nicely enough. A crisp exchange with Jason Holt saw the right-back surge into the home penalty area before placing a calm finish beyond off-air Marciano. Belief in a footballing miracle visibly drained out of Hibs as the ball hit the net. Mission impossible looked just that again. 5 minutes later, it was 3-2. Maclaren made it 3-0 with a fine header, and as some Rangers fans headed for the Easter Road exits, few saw a comeback. Centre-back Russell Martin led the governing quest as the Jets desperately tried to halt the tide and get a foothold in the game. This one was a moment to remember for Rossiter. Making his first start since August, the former Liverpool youngster was picked out by Jamie Murphy for an angled conversion that brought his first Rangers goal. Rossiter has been jinxed by injuries since arriving at Ibrox in 2016 and likely feared further damage when he was wiped out by wild Alan Lunge. It could easily have been a red card, but Dallas decided a booking, 1 of 4 in the opening period, was sufficient punishment for the on-loan Celtic midfielder. By now, Nickel had replaced the toiling Goss with Bruno Alves to match up against Hibs' 3 at the back shape. It's doubtful, however, that interim Ibrox boss was expecting that introduction to spawn a spectacular equaliser. 6 minutes before the break, F.A. Ambrose felled Murphy around 25 yards. Up stepped Alves with a stunning free kick that curled and sped its way past a despairing Marciano. A short back header from Ambrose then almost allowed Rangers to end the first half 4-3 in front, but the Nigerian backpedaled in time to block Jason Cummings' effort on the line. Captain James Tavernier led by example and reduced the arrears to 3-1 after a counter-attack allowed him to fire home but then faint. Hope of a comeback became a genuine possibility as midfielder Jordan Rossiter made it 3-2 in a frantic first 45. The 21-year-old midfielder from Liverpool was cleverly found inside the area by Jamie Murphy as he slotted in confidently. Half-time enabled players and supporters to reach from the smelling salts, yet the reprieve was brief. Hibs came thundering out after the rest, with Canberra going close, only for the visitors to complete a truly remarkable turnaround after 54 minutes. Cummings teased Ambrose with another sprint through the inside right channel, nooking the ball inside to Murphy as he was closed down. The Scotland cap quickly teed up Holt, whose shot took a slight deflection before netting beyond Marciano. Delirium descended upon the Rangers fans, filling the reduced allocation behind the goal. Marciano then pulled off terrific saves to deny Murphy and Tavernier, but was helpless as Rangers notched a fifth in 69 minutes. The first half comeback was complete in stunning fashion when substitute Bruno Alves scored with his strong free kick. The Portuguese hammered home a free kick to keep alive hopes of finishing second, but Aberdeen went on to beat Celtic. Rangers, under the stewardship of Jimmy Nicholl, needed Aberdeen to slip up to give them a chance of finishing second. Holt strived from distance, cannoned off substitute Windass to give the English attacker a goal on what could be a final appearance for the Ibrox club if summer transfer interest crystallises. That was surely that, right? Not quite. Any Hibs supporters who thought about an early cut were heading back towards the seats when they pulled one back within a minute. Slivka forced the ball through to Maclaren, who opened up his body to whip one into the bottom corner of the net. There was further hope from the home side when Holt, booked earlier in the second half, was ordered off after incurring a second yellow card for pulling back John McGinn, and they finally made their advantage pay when Maclaren turned the ball home deep into injury time.